Woo! Hey, gentlemen, this is Heroes Journey with Dr. D here to encourage you, motivate, and inspire, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. Playing this content, how about you help you so we help others out by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. Because when you do that, you organically help build and grow with me so we can make it better tomorrow. Today, I am coming on late, but I'm just getting back to the groove. This is probably my second consecutive week of coming back on my Wednesday night. Of course, it doesn't like it's not 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's more like it's 9:40, almost 10 p.m. But I'm establishing a new location and I'm trying to set up. You see, I don't have my colorful background, but we just like in pool. But I'm not really in pool. You know how it goes. So I had to make sure I get my cup and then get some coffee. I'm not really sleepy now, but I'm trying to stay nice and bright so bags will not be seen in my eyes. All right, so this is what I'll do to start us off. I'm going to put uh, over the comment section. I'm putting a link in the comment section. So for those of you who would like to come on, give your two, put something in chat line, give your 2 cents, then you get a metaphorical nickelback. How about that? You get a metaphorical nickelback. All right. Mm-hmm. Ah. Let's see. I get my sound. I think my sound is on. All right. Okay. All right. We good right here. We good right here. I'm trying to make my coffee, y'all. So, what do y'all think? Today is the Heroes Update. What happened? What happened? What happened? Ah, what happened? Well, I need some cream before I tell you what happened. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do, 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 do. Ah! Hey, gentlemen. All right. Be joining me at your All right. Tonight we're going to be discussing briefly about your boy Diddy. All right. Add to stream. See, it clicks. All right. Now you. I can hear you sound. Are you here?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So today we talk about. I got a chance to catch a little bit of the trial recap. Of course, it wasn't live, but ooh, what I heard that was interesting. I don't know if you had a chance to take, or anybody online had a chance to get a take of day two of the Did he do it? Did he do it? Yeah, he came in gray hair, and this is the uptake, the update. This is what I heard. So he came in there, real neat, couplings on and everything. Even smiled a crack or two to individuals. And uh, but what happens is that they put Cassie on stand, and Cassie is visibly about 8 months pregnant, about to burst any second now. And but she became very stoic and very straightforward, and she gave her the answer about the quote unquote the freak offs, and they asked her, "Did you enjoy the freak offs?" And she said, "Yes, at first, I was looking forward to the freak offs." Mm, yep, yep,
Wow.
yep.
Must have been
Yeah,
a lot
that
of fun, I guess.
she said she was looking forward to the free calls. And he said, "Why? Why, Cassandra? Why?" And she said, because due to the fact that I can be close to Sean, you know, and they made him happy. I like to see him happy.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's too bad. She really
Yeah,
cared about.
yeah. She said, I loved him. He said the nicknames were he was Papa and I was CC for Cassie Combs. She thought it was going somewhere. But first off, she started out in the music business. And the first album, she had 10 album deal, and she was 19 when she first met him, and they thought they was gonna be is gonna groom into something, you know. She had learning the ropes in Hollywood or the music industry, and then it led into it, you know. Uh, she cared about him, and she wanted to see him um, happy. And she said the first time she felt kind of she felt dirty. However, she still went on to choose other ones because she set him up. He didn't choose, she chose. Now he kind of directed what they did, but she chose and it's kind of like it became like what they did, what they did. And there was tying in the everything that was leading up to the video with the knocking her down, stepping on her, the video. You saw the video, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw clips of it.
Yeah, where like he broke the vase and he is dragging her, and then he came like 2 months ago, but then he apologized for that video, and they was trying to connect the video with the fact that he they were saying that I think he was upset because she wasn't going to do what he wanted her to do, um, like he was pimping her out, and they were trying to connect it to sex trafficking. But his defense was saying it was a love. He said, of course, he was wrong, but he was vividly upset about her flirting or looking at somebody else, and it's like a lover squabble. Of course, he was an abusive lover, but it had nothing to do with him sitting there pimping her out. Yeah, everything with a disagreement, which she has shown that had been. It wasn't the first time. It's the first time they got caught on video. But the stinger is, he got vividly, visibly upset in the court at the end. He lost his cool. He said he stood up. He said, "You know you lying. That's not the whole picture." He said, "Mr. Combs, if you don't sit down, we have to get you removed." And now the jury seen him losing his cool. And said they said that some jury you saw when they start talking about the details of what was happening, they start saying that they saw some jurors just tearing up. They saw one guy just turn his head because he started getting details of what was happening. You know, they said in one situation he told the guy to let go in her mouth. That
Wow,
nasty.
that's all.
And she
She
said
doing
it. Yeah. I mean, that was one situation, but then they said other stuff. I mean, I don't know the detail. That was love right there. Um, but what he didn't know is that she recorded a lot of stuff, audio. So he was like, her defense said adamantly throughout the month said he didn't do that, he didn't do that, no, 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 he didn't do that. But then she played recordings of saying no, and you know what happened to you if you leave, or If you stop doing this, I mean, give ultimatums. And that's when he stood up and he said, "You know that's out of context. That's wrong. That's wrong." And there's caught unaware. There's caught unaware for that. They were, yeah, they didn't expect that. However, I heard another commentator, somebody on YouTube said earlier, said it's still possible. Everything is hinging. It said the hinging. The debate is that does his beat treatment to her lead to direct link with RICO and sex trafficking? And so you kind of got to fuse. You have to convince everybody that she wasn't a willing participant, but she was. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a willing participant. Yeah, yeah, that's. I mean, that is kind of a crucial part of it. You know, uh, she was participating, perhaps even for the wrong motivation.
Right.
But judging from what you just said, she said she cared about us, she loved us, wanted to make it happen, so she was willingly, you know,
But you said I was young and dumb, but you not you 21, you grown. You made a choice. Now was you
yeah,
mistreated? Yes. Was you manipulated? Yes. Mhm. Yes. All that. But I think they're trying to lead that into a direct link with RICO sex trafficking and drugs because she think I heard somewhere say she had to take drugs later on to number for all the emotions. That's why a lot of individuals in the adult industry take a lot of drugs because to
help
numb their
them cope.
emotions. You have no cope
Yeah,
with it. Yeah.
wow, it's sad. The life people live, man, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's ready. Everybody's probably ready to just put all the bullets behind them, except for Diddy. I mean, doesn't look too
You
good
think?
for him.
Well, no,
But
she's
in her,
married.
hmm?
What's that?
I said in her case, I'm sure she's ready to move on.
Well, no, she's moving on. She's married and she's pregnant with and she's almost 40 and she's having a I don't know if it's her first son or let me see
Oh, wow.
uh,
You're married?
uh
Wow.
is she married? I mean is the Cassie? Yeah. Let me see. She don't have no kids with B Diddy, but let me see. Um, wow. And so let's see here. I don't know why Wells Fargo came up. Yeah. Okay, Google does okay Google does Cassie have any children um Puppy's ex girlfriend? Does Puppy's ex girlfriend Cassandra have any children? Okay. Okay, Google does Diddy's ex girlfriend Cassandra have any children?
Based on the search results, Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie, has two young daughters with her current husband, Alex Fine, whom she married in 2019.
Oh, look at those are her kids. Okay.
Uh,
Wow.
is 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 Cassie currently pregnant?
Yes, based on the information available, Cassie is currently pregnant with her third child, a son, with her husband, Alex Fine. She is reportedly 8 months pregnant as of May 13th, 2025.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, hey, as terrible as it may sound, I guess she survived. You know, she's
She
like a
said, "What?"
horrible thing to go through. She survived, and she's like a horrible thing to go through. The consequences of she's like a really bad decision, but
You muffled.
I
I
mean,
can't hear you.
able to move on.
Yeah, but she Okay, let's see. Okay, Gemini, how much money did Cassandra Ventura get in settlement from Diddy? How much money did she get in settlement from Diddy, Cassandra? Oh wow. Cassie and Diddy 20 million settlement. She had 20 million. So she's all right.
Well, yeah, financially, she should be set for the rest of her life if she, budget and does the right thing. So that part's good.
Yeah. My husband said, shoot, sweetheart, we can have family now.
I mean, yeah, shoot, $20 million. If you live off just what
With the club.
two
Yeah.
hundred thousand, 300,000 a year, you can stretch that out for what 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, who
But
knows?
$20 at $1 million a year would be 20 years. $500,000 a year would be 40 years. So she could stretch it out for the rest of
Man,
her life and
man,
her
she put
children.
$10 million in the bank. $10 million in the bank. She probably get $1 million in interest, or 500,000.
Some investment. Yeah.
Yeah, you put if she put $10 million in the bank, that's 100, at least $200,000 a year interest. She can
Ooh. Oh, you
live
mean
off
like
the
a
interest.
special investment?
Just an interest in general. You
Which
put
is
like
like in a savings account?
a high yield. I don't know, a high yield.
Oh,
Just think
yeah, it
about
has
it.
to become high to give you that much. But yeah,
10%.
so
10%.
financially, she's set. She just gotta like emotionally heal, recover. My prayer is that her and her family come to know Jesus, get saved, and just let the Holy Spirit cleanse them and purify them of all that stuff. And she could probably live a pretty good, decent life. That's a horrible
Yeah.
thing to go through. And here's the sad part too. He's not the only one. There's a lot of young men and young women that go through stuff like that and have gone through stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, because all for the sake of the thing is, if I'm already sexing, what's a little bit more sex, and I can get paid for it, and I'm getting famous. Somebody I care about, quote unquote, I think that has my best interest at, and but I can't say this for fact. Allegedly, she may be freaky anyway. Not to that extent. I think I heard Gene, security guy, say, "Oh yeah, she was into it, but maybe not to that extent." I don't know.
Well, people do all kinds of things to be famous and rich. That's just
Right.
that's two of the false gods of our culture. So she's not the only one who willing to bend the rules just to, become rich and famous.
Right.
They seem like they say that stuff happens all the time. Um, she just got exposed. He just imagine all the people's happened to, and that it's never exposed. They never brought to court. They never. It's just the lifestyle. Um, so time moves. Yeah, it's man. You know, I feel for her, and I feel for Diddy too. I think it's not normal. I'm sure there's a reason why he allowed his soul to descend into such depravity and evil, if he's guilty, allegedly, of whatever they're saying. But let's just assume, he's probably had, and I even heard, I think, Suge Knight in an interview with that True Value or True Entertainment
Okay,
podcast,
he got his
where
podcast for jail. He does
yeah,
podcast for jail.
what he seemed to insinuate, the way what he was saying, the way I interpreted what he was saying that Diddy and people like him are taught these things. That this is not these things they're doing was taught to them by. He named names. He said by this producer that there are other big, very big,
The
high level producers.
Houston's produced. You know, Clyde Davis was his. They said that was his. You know, one of his people. Let me say one of his people.
Yeah, that teach these people these things. That's not so. Suge Knight was like, yeah, it ain't just. He just takes Suge Knight from what I was understanding. He's just taking the fall. But
Right.
trust me, he's not. It's not. It's not just him. It's other people taught him, introduced him to these things. You know, so maybe in some ways, and I know people will probably really be upset about this, that he's a victim also, I bet you, in some ways.
Well, you. What was the Bible says that you're only affected, yeah, by your own desires. Then Corinthians it talks about you're you're tempted by your own desire. And so you have a little desire, it expounds it. Uh it's like putting kerosene like charcoal. You know, you make a barbecue and you put the kerosene on it and it blows up. What's the scripture talks about you're only tempted by your own desires. You're tempted. You know what I'm talking about?
A man said he's drawn away by his own lust.
Right. So I say you can't be drawn you can't be drawn if they have no lust in that area.
Right. I'm sure there's always a beginning match to it all.
Right.
Um, but then there are people that exploit that, and sometimes they take you so much further than you want to be. I would like to think deep within the inner recess of his heart somewhere that if he could go back and do it over again, be a different person, I would hope and think that he like that video he put where he apologized. He may actually be remorseful, maybe. Or then again, he might be, a psychopath or what's that word? He might be schizophrenic where he can just, put on these roles. Meanwhile,
That-
he's
That's more
despondent evil.
psychopath, not schizophrenic. Uh, Psychopaths or sociopath that you put on a mask to appease your evil desires. Um, Schizophrenic, there's a chemical imbalance that causes you act a little abnormal. But right type of medication can be stabilized. But I don't recall there any medication that can be dispensed to a sociopath or a psychopath.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? Who knows how deteriorated he is in his soul? My prayer is, I just hope everyone involved can move on and you know, because the reality is life's gonna keep moving on. I'm kind of happy that she was able to get married and still have children.
Yeah,
Uh, in terms of Diddy, I don't know. And no
we
telling what's happened to him. He might spend the rest of his life in jail, like forever.
well, we know even you said earlier in the depths of his heart, but even the book says that your heart deceitfully wicked. Who can know it? Yeah, your heart is deceitfully wicked. Without the light of Christ on it, then who can really know it?
Mm,
Yeah, if it's left to itself, and nobody's earnestly quote unquote good,
yeah, that's right. Without Jesus, there goes I. That's the whole saying.
because you have some morally good atheists. However, it all depends on how they've been raised or the culture they're within. I mean, some people say, "Well, I was a morally good Nazi."
Mm,
Based on how I was raised, I was good. if you was raised, you're supposed you was raised. This is good. This is bad. Just like and if you born in all black town, all white town, and you was taught that blacks are bad, blacks are bad, blacks are bad, and and you call them racial slurs because that's what you grown up to be. You can be enlightened to the truth if you choose to want to have a better understanding. But you can live a lot. I said, listen, hey, we just did a picnic the other day. Everybody came and Mr. Jim was hanging. And he had pop. I've seen you seen the pictures where they all get around the town square and they had popcorn when they was lynching somebody. It's like an event. Have you seen those before, Renee? Hello, Renee. No, you sleep? Hello. Oh, it went off. Um, yeah. So, like I was saying, you never. They have been. They must have went off. Put music on. Wanna move my feet. Wanna do my one. Wanna move my feet. Yeah, I was saying that sometimes you see the old videos, old pictures of in these racist towns where people are hanging, and but if you're supposed to use a child raising up in that environment, you would think that you're morally good doing what everybody else did. I mean, if you see the local preacher doing it, the policeman, everybody having a picnic, and Mr. John, which is a different race, you think that's normal. However, I think there's something inside of you will tell you as you grow older that that's not right. But you have to you have to be willing to shift to find out the truth. And everybody that doesn't have enough wherewithal to go against the being of the environment. I believe we all are products of our environment, and is learned behavior. However, the behavior we learn, if it's not right, I would hope that you will get I think the conscious God speaks to our conscious, and if we listen close enough, we hear direction, and He lead us to truth or the book or just to the correct way. A lot of people just choose not to go the correct way. Why? Because it doesn't fancy their flesh. You know, and some people live directly by how they feel, and if they are feeling off or they're not, their things are not. What's the word? If they're not feeling joyous in everything with everybody, or they're not getting everything they want or they desire, and the person close to them not giving it to them, then is it possible they may go into a depressive state? Because they're so accustomed to pulling from people, their narcissistic behavioral trait formulates based on learned behavior and based on trauma. A lot of trauma I'm speaking of trauma that comes from deep level of neglect or abuse that happens in childhood. And some abuse and neglect happens in childhood that you're not even aware of happening to you because it be so much a commonplace. But when you grow older, what happens is that when things are not right during childhood, things what happens is that you're triggered by things, new things that trigger your old things that have not been dealt with, and then start dealing with you and showing itself in relationships, whether with your children, with your siblings, or with your spouse. And you generally end up pushing that spouse, your siblings, or your friends, or people away because you're not easy to deal with. Because Everything they say, everything they do may trigger the pain that you never dealt with. So, I mean, I think Renee had a good point. I hope in a depth the individual told Diddy Soul that he come to terms. I think this is a wake up call for the most part. He has the money to pay for attorney, and then doesn't feel like he's invincible at this current juncture of life, this current juncture right now. And a lot of people will be throwing him under the bus because tapes are coming out and heads are going to roll. Heads are going to roll. I'm gonna try to keep abreast of the current situation, what's happening. So what I'm doing here is update on what's happening. Be on the lookout for this. So let's wrap it up because Nate just cut off because he has to get up early. So I'm just wrap this thing up. Um, if if you're an individual in Diddy's case, he's had money, and power, and I think more of the power, and he's come synonymous with fame and influence in Hollywood. For whatever it brought him or it took him to, he may have paid the price to get there. And as it comes across optically, he paid the price willingly. Some people, as I see in footage, like Justin Bieber, marvelously talented young man, but you can tell there was some pain, and I don't think he was he. I think there may have been some things that may have occurred in his life that that he was naive to, and I think he suffered pain, and he's right still suffering pain due to what occurred to him. Now he may have made the choice at that time because what young men don't want to be famous or influenced, and so if somebody who's supposed to be a mentor of yours or you look up to says something and you're naive to life in general and how it works, you may be all right with it until it happens. And then when it happens, then you deal with trauma about the effects of it happen. You get trauma, you have the trauma, but then you also have the lingering effects that the action may have done to you, all tilted your emotional state. So I'll say all that to say that the question is, did he do it or did he not? That has to yet to be determined. This simply a case of morally and actions very distasteful, immoral, and they're all over the place. But this trial is definitely a splitting of the hairs about what was done and was not. But you have to look at what is he being charged with? Is he being charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, or is he being charged with being this is a terrible person to a certain extent, abusive to a young lady and manipulating a younger person with a mentality that's almost like he uses power to influence. And a lot of men of power do that. And so, is he guilty of manipulation or is he guilty of sex trafficking and sex trafficking and racketeering? Because they got him on some stuff now, y'all. They got him on some stuff. Like I said, as this thing progresses, heads gonna roll, heads gonna roll. So if you got anything to say about this trial, go ahead and put it in my comment section and see what I can look up and see I can give you my take on it on the trials to come. Then I may be doing some cameo hero updates throughout the week, not just on Wednesday. And you have any other in-depth content you'd like me to do research on and do a video on, or even um, review some videos and give my take. Some say Hero's Journey INC at Gmail. And I'll play them and I'll give my review, I'll give my take. It'll be a reaction video. Give me some videos so I can react on, and I'll make sure that I put it on my channel, and now I'll be as genuine as possible. All right. So this is a hero journey with Dr. D. If you have found any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others? How? By clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. How? By clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. Because when you do this, you organically help build with me and grow with me, so we can make it better tomorrow. Today, I have as you see, I have several different segments on my channel. I have a heroes. I have In the Streets with Dr. D. I've just put a plethora of new content on uh, In Them Streets. In the Streets, a hero's rant. I have a lot of those. In Them Streets, a hero rant. Check out um, that segment. In Them Streets, I pretty much do one every other day. I probably done five last week. So In Them Streets with Dr. D, a hero's rant, and I have in that segment Ride and Share where you'll see at times that I'm doing interviews with individuals while I'm doing Ride and Share. Interviews or audio or video. Audio, there's some of you on video, and you'll see a B-roll on the ones that are not on the audio. And that's my Ride and Share. But I have a lot of Heroes Rant. I have guided meditation segment, and I do have reaction video segment, and purpose purpose field purpose field videos and emotion center videos. So check me out, and if you find any value, go ahead and click subscribe, comment, and sharing. And I look forward to seeing you. And please put something in the comment section. Helps the algorithm, helps me out. Give me some thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. Help me get that 4,000 watch hours. I don't want to be that pastor who gets everybody to the altar. They get saved on Thursday, but nobody comes on church on Sunday. I need to watch hours, y'all. To help build it helps build the algorithm. It helps me actually get monetized, which I'm not. All right. So this is a hero's journey with Dr. D. And if you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. And if you don't remember anything else, remember this: everything is vertical. Make it your goal because life is just too short to live looking in the rear view mirror. This is a hero's journey with Dr. D, and we are